Hello, this is Christian Duke, aka The Radical. That's theradicalwithak.com. And I'm making this video for those of you that may have come in through a YouTube or Google search wanting to know about the tasering at the University of Florida involving Andrew Meyer. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate all of the attention this matter has received in the media. I appreciate the 115,000 plus views that my video received. And I appreciate all of the interest by media, be it newspaper, television, radio, and online blogs. Let me tell you that shortly after the tasering, UF President Bernie Machen called for the formation of a committee that would have members of the Faculty Senate, members of student government, and which any ruling that this committee would make would be subject to Bernie Machen's own veto. That's to say that the president of the University of Florida, Bernie Machen, while interested in the findings of this committee, would be able to refute anything and everything they said if he didn't agree with it, giving him carte blanche insofar as what this committee's official reports would be. If he likes it, great. If he doesn't, he'll veto it. Very democratic of Bernie Machen. The student body president in question, Ryan Mosley of the Gator Swamp Party, also made a promise to the students that he, on his own, would ensure that only impartial, unbiased students would be placed on this committee, not SG bigwigs, not people with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-page resumes, not with people that have been cabinet directors or senators or supervisors of election, or much less members of the secret leadership honorary at UF Florida Blue Key. Ryan Mosley lied on his promise and stacked the committee full of SG bigwigs. And by the part of the UF Faculty Senate, the Faculty Senate completely ignored the possibility that perhaps UF students would actually want to hear what was going on at this committee meeting, and instead of showing some consideration for the student body, made sure that this committee was timed perfectly in accordance with their availability, that is 9 to 5. The times when most students are in class. Today's first committee meeting, today's first official committee meeting, because that's another thing, they made sure that this committee's first meeting was immediately after the student body elections. The same student body elections in which Ryan Mosley, the current student body president, Ryan Mosley, the pet of UF President Bernie Machen, Ryan Mosley's party took every seat but one from the independents. And now that the elections are over, now the committee will convene. Again, very democratic of President Bernie Machen, very democratic of Florida Blue Key-backed Gator Swamp Coalition. Very democratic. And also very democratic of the UF Faculty Senate, who today had their first meeting as part of this special committee at 10:30, yes, 10:30 on a Tuesday morning when the majority of students were in class. Brian Ongst, who is a member of this committee, selected by Ryan Mosley, student body president, Brian Ongst, from what he told me, a law student at the University of Florida, had to miss 2 classes in order to be able to attend the meeting. Brian Ongst is not a spectator. Brian Ongst is a committee member. So, why are these committee meetings being timed immediately during the most heavy course load of all students? Why is the Faculty Senate so inconsiderate as to not time these meetings at a time better suited for students? Why does Bernie Machen, who supposedly convened this committee to find out the truth, why does he have veto power? Why does the student body president make promises that he is going to keep SG bigwigs off the committee, yet proves the complete antithesis and loads it up with bigwigs? And why on earth has this committee, its first meeting, its inaugural meeting, and its first real meeting, why have both of these meetings been after the student body elections? Again, for those of you interested in finding out the truth about what's going on at UF, whether or not UF actually cares that its officers may have been guilty of using excessive force, I am here to tell you that they don't. They don't care about the officers who remain on paid administrative leave. All officers continue to use stun guns and have them as part of their arsenal. and you have students who live on campus, are the ones subjected to the greatest abuses of power and are the most unlikely to stand up and voice dissent against excessive force. The off-campus students, they can get on the bus after class and go home. The on-campus students, home is UF. If they live at Hume, if they live in Graham, if they live in Jennings, they can throw a rock and they're at the headquarters of the University of Florida Police Department. How likely are they to dissent? And what could happen to them if they dissent? Young man, you were swerving out there. Have you been drinking? Young man, I think you ran that red light back there. But officer, there's nobody here, only you and myself. I swear to you, I didn't run it. Who do you think the judge is going to believe? You, pot smoking, underage drinking, know-it-all college student who's only going to be here for 4 years and trash Gainesville and leave? Or me, RoboCop, trusted by the government to enforce the law? I'm an upstanding citizen, a taxpayer, an adult. Do you smell alcohol on that breath? Of course not. Who's the judge going to believe? But officer, I'm a student at the University of Florida. I can go to student legal services. I have to pay $12 or $7 out of my activity and service fees. My money goes to support student legal services. Surely I can go to student legal services and surely they will defend me against your abuse of power. No, not at the University of Florida. At the University of Florida, yes, you do fund student legal services, and yes, you do have a lawyer at your expense, but your lawyer cannot be used to defend you from me. That's how we have it set up at the University of Florida. You pay, and I can still fuck you in the ass. Thanks, Bernie, you fucker.